What up, Schmoedown rockers? So, we had a nice pay-per-view. With the exception of figuring out what they are going to set up for next month for the team's titles. For this, there's not too much to segues. We did get a decent the opening obviously was, of course, we had Bibbs versus Chance 2. Unfortunately, Chance just couldn't get the job done right now. Because Bibbs more so because Bibbs lucked out and got his 5. So, not sure if it would have mattered if Chance would not have gotten his, though, because there were tough ones. But for the most part, the match was pretty solid. Other than that, the main event, though, Sam still has it in him, dude. And I'm now worried about whether or not, if anyone's going to take the belt off of him at this point. Because, shit. I don't even know if, I don't know. Will we ever get to see Dan versus Sam 2 and Sam pull it off this time? Or is Dan going to prove that he's still one of the votes? I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. But Sam does come back. Both played perfect. Extremely perfect. And it was more that speed round that did it in to where Sam had to basically show why he's the king of that round. And just nailed it. And then there was this, and I liked it. I liked the way this match went about, and it was good to see how classy they were in their post-interviews with each other. Basically, Sam needed it way more than Marisol in this case, because it seems Marisol did enough to where she could have gained a #1 contendership. Though the thing is she ever going to get it back? And if she does, will this start a rivalry between her and Sam? That'll be interesting. But we'll see. And if so, I don't expect Marisol to make it back as easy. It all depends on who she's going to face. Plus, I don't know if this is the case. I have a weird feeling that Oyama may not be using it in singles. He's definitely going to have to use it for teams. Which, it's possible he might be partnering this time with Coyote, which will make them a deadly team. And I think people should be worried, given he's with Swag now. And it just wasn't a good day for Corruption, basically, this entire time. Chance losing and then Marisol. But she can't be upset more so with Marisol. We don't know if Chance will be able to make a comeback after this, because he lost to Bibbs. But he beat JTE, something he can definitely hand over Bibbs, regardless. Even though Bibbs beat you twice. But, there's a chance that third time might be the charm for you at some point. It happened with Riley against Roka. Maybe it happened with you. Who knows? But yeah, you could tell they're more facey, but like in a tweenerish kind of way, so they still got an edge. At this point, which is fine, because they already have too many more heel-leaning tendencies with the Den and now Roxy at this point. So, and it seems to be more of a Roxy Dungeon situation in terms of storyline at this moment, so we'll see how that goes over and if it's going to continue to go over, because now it's 1-1 between them two. Though Alex versus Demolanto is going to be interesting. Nikki had his number though, so we'll see if Alex can pull it this time. I don't know. I doubt it, but I don't know. I liked, overall, I liked this. This pay-per-view was pretty good. And speaking of the Den, so we're not even really sure what the main event is. All we know is that I guess it involves Bateman. We don't even know the undercard. it's just next week, this coming week's Friday Night Titans is just going to be weird. Situation where it's definitely really thriving on storyline, more so or less. And if the opponent isn't much of anything to live up to, given Bateman's credibility, it's gonna be meh. It's really gonna be meh. Unless they decide for some stupid reason to make Ben stay in the undercard, then what's the main event? What's the main event? Oof. That's the tough part, I tell you. Clean this up a little bit. But yeah. But overall, I did enjoy this, and I understand a lot of people putting so far this title match as match of the year. Though it's going to be a tough contenders against some of what we got the couple years or so in terms of matchups, especially if you're talking. Oh, there's so many of them at this point. And now this match is going to be up there for sure. I liked it a lot. That's for sure. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But what did you guys think so far of Friday Night Titans in general, this week's pay-per-view? Who do you think Ben's going to face? Personally, I feel like the decision to do this as our cutscene after such a great pay-per-view to start with and have this be the tip end of it all just felt like the biggest. I like Ben, don't get me wrong, and Kate's awesome, and I don't think it's their fault. I don't know why Harloff thought this was a good idea to make a cock tease thing and like leave us so in the dark, you know, and I have something complete to look forward to. And like, oh, let's defend the Titans, man. Like, yeah, fuck off. I didn't want to wait. That's just a big cock tease to it. What was a great pay-per-view night in the worst possible way. Because there's some people who don't give a shit about Ben. And you think they're going to care who he faces without knowing who he faces ahead of time? Come the fuck on. Like, I'm fine. I mean, I care enough. I'm a patron to him. Even before he was officially announced to have been in the dungeon. That kept me going. And I'm still going in there regardless, because some of the people involved in the den are not, I've had good interaction with. So, so far at least, Ben mostly. I can't wait to see who he'll eventually partner with. Which I'm starting to wonder if they're waiting on that. I don't think it's definitely not going to be Jen. I don't think he's partnering with either of the other two players that are also in there. So they got to come up with another singles player. The only thing that would scare me is if for some reason the Den picks up someone I'm hoping Kaiser will still be able to pick up. And that, which there could be a thing on that too, since he was in the Den and was never utilized. And that is, yes, David Del Rio. Maybe that's who he's calling out. And if that's the case, okay. I'm cool with that. Good luck, Ben. You're going to need it, especially if he winds up going back to the dungeon. Then you know I'm where my loyalties may have to lie for the most part. Won't be too mad if you win, though. Because when you still once dungeon, always dungeon, whether or not you believe in it or not, or at least your heel character. But regardless, I was just fucking underwhelmed with not getting much of anything from a cutscene other than it's just a whatever interaction Ben and Kate had. But that's not much. But it was so short-lived, and we didn't get much of anything out of it. I kind of don't care. Until we find out what it is, then I might care. So it's kind of like, really, Harloff, you kind of did a disservice to getting any hype going forward, but... Or you just couldn't come up with anything to follow up something as awesome of a matchup as that main event. It's just how it is. So we'll see what happens. What did you guys think? Leave a comment below, let me know. If you like this video, rock that like button with thrust if you must. If you like the Schmoedown, please go check them out. Also, link in the description to the dungeon page. Home of the eventual future champ, future two-time IG champ, the Smasher, and an eventual Star Wars champion, Nikki DeMolanta, and an eventual singles and hopefully teams champ, depending, with Janine the Machine, who, if she gets a partner at all, to partner with, that would have been awesome. But that's kind of, and also link description to my my own page and the Facebook page, so I can follow me there. And all my other links to socials are in the description as well. And as always, guys, keep it random. Just guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. And if you smell what the movie Trivia Schmoedown, Schmoedown Knocks Cabin Entertainment, and so on and so forth is cooking. Yeah, the Schmoedown. Friday Night Titans, dig it.